As we've been saying, most people arriving in the UK will have to self-isolate from 2 weeks as of today as part of efforts to control the spread of COVID-19. People who don't comply could be fined, but there are exemptions for groups including freight workers and medical staff. There are 42 exemptions in all. Julia Lo Bue-Said is Chief Executive of the Advantage Travel Partnership and joins us now from Hertfordshire. Welcome, Julia. What are your thoughts on this quarantine?
Oh, exceptionally frustrating. Today is a really frustrating day for our industry. We believe that the measures that have been put in place now are completely ill-balanced, illogical, and just far too little too late. This should have been in place back in March when the virus first, pandemic was first in play. But we're now at a situation where we are 4 months into the pandemic. The industry's had no income coming in whatsoever, lots of costs going out. So just completely illogical. We just cannot see any sense to it at all.
Would you have supported a quarantine at the start?
Definitely. I mean, that seems logical sense that at the start of a pandemic, you implement those measures to keep the virus down. The fact is also, people can travel into the country, they have to quarantine 14 days, but the minute they leave the airport, they're allowed to get onto public transport. So it just makes no sense whatsoever that this is the right thing to do at the right time.
What do you think the impact will be of it? Because it is here now and it's going to be in place for at least 3 weeks before it's looked at again.
Yeah, the impact is already pretty catastrophic. We're already seeing businesses that have failed. We're seeing businesses that are having to, unfortunately, let staff go. So mass redundancies are unfortunately unavoidable now. A survey that we did to our members over the weekend showed that 70% of our members are extremely worried. 15% of them actually don't even think they'll have a business, and 20% will have to make staff redundant. So an industry that employs millions. We're the third largest employer as a sector in the UK. These are not small numbers. It's a business that is fighting for its survival, and every day, without the clarity that we need and without the planning, 3-week review period, but we need time now. We can't switch a switch on, and the industry will be ready to greet our consumers and our business travellers. We need action now, and we're in a desperate state.
What is happening in terms of bookings? I mean, I'm assuming not many people are booking at the moment until they get some clarity. What about also bookings that are already in place? Because many people will have planned their summer holidays and may now be wondering whether they can actually go because of the quarantine restrictions when they come back.
Well, that's a really interesting question. So if we were if we had a holiday booked or travel trip booked for July, I'm not sure now what our industry can say to our consumers. It's very difficult for us to advise. As an example, we noticed the FCO advice changed over the weekend from indefinite travel to currently. So even that slight change in reference, there's been no discussion with industry, there's been no advice to industry, no consultation. So there's been a tweak to the advice. We think it still means the same thing, but what does that mean? So it's very difficult for us to guide our customers and try to ensure that we can give them the professional guidance that they expect.
So what does that mean then in practical terms? Everyone's just got to wait and see, because I'm assuming you can't cancel on a fear of quarantine because you won't get your money back.
That's right. So as it stands at the minute, with the FCO advice as it is, then anybody that has a travel trip booked, then they are able to cancel and get a full refund, providing that the FCO advice says that. However, what we do not know is if that advice, once that advice changes, then we'll be able to advise our customers accordingly. But at the minute, we're unable to do that.